great morning, everyone. Well, today is Hogalishi Day. Today, Lena will not be on. It will be Hogarth, myself, Sheila, and Dave by Moonlight. I think that's his name, from Australia. So that's what will be on today. So I won't be doing too many readings this morning because I never know what are going to be the questions that we read on this evening. But I wanted to ask, I'm using my other cards, and I just want to ask what the cards can tell us that's beneficial to hear. So let's see what the cards have to say with that. So the reading's about an ending. It's about an ending. Death, the end of something. Energy coming into a life path. An ending of life choices. Above it, victory. The victory going forward. The foundation is the hangman. The sacrifice, seen from a different viewpoint for a victory when it comes to the end point of life. Okay, well, this is not real lighthearted, is it? The victory of death for the life path and see from a different viewpoint. So what's going on with that is about, the emotional life that you've led, the fullness of the life going forward. In its next part of the journey, with the foundation of what you've shared in life, and also what is being shared when you cross over. You have the life review, etc. So the challenge is, what have you done? What have you changed? Okay? As above, so below. How have you led your life? So in this case, I don't think this is about a manipulation, smoke and mirrors. I think this is about actually the changes that you've made and the changes that can happen. Because this is about mentally going to a better place mentally in that journey. Above it, this is about the truth, the things that you've held to be truth. And the Ten of Pentacles, usually this has to do with the family, the generations, your wealth, all of that, how you've used it. Above it all, the strength of your life path, the strength. And then going forward, what's being shared about all of this, seeing from a different viewpoint about the wealth, the whole thing that you've done in your life, where it's going for is a victory of truth. You get the unvarnished truth there, and looking at your mental state, what it was, and so strengthening things. So this is about, I wasn't expecting this to come up. It's about, when you leave the physicality of form and you go to the other side and you have the life review and you can't get away from the absolute truth on the other side, and it sees what your mind and your heart was. That's what it says in the Bible. It judges the mind and the heart. Okay? So that's what this is talking about, the emotional life and the heart. What you did, what changes you made while you were on the earth plane, and going forward to something better. So let's go ahead and we'll do the clarifying read and see what else it has to say. So at the center of it all is about the hermit, spending time alone, contemplating, seeking out, praying, okay, really, and this is what a lot of the spiritual path is. It's about that alone time. It's about that seeking. It's about going forward in the dark and trying to find the light in the things. It's about the message, about the actions. And the foundation is about what's handed out, what's given out. What's given out? On one side of it, we have about being outside of spirituality. Have you turned away from spirituality, or are you embracing it? Being out in the cold. If you are out in the cold, then you do the search. And this is many times how the search begins, feeling that you are outside of things, and then you do the deep dive. You do the path, you start looking above it to find the truth. The mental. You have to really delve and dive deep into the mental realm as to what's happening, into your losses, the feeling of losses, the feeling of being outside of the spirituality, and that causes the search, feeling embattled, okay, weary, tired. You can't give up on the search, okay? You can't give up on the search, but many times that's what causes that really deep dive, going into it, wanting to find God. In my life, that's what it was. I wanted to know, what is God? Is God, and that started the deep dive. Out of that pain, you start that search. So the other side, it's about what you're holding to, the concrete things, the evidence that comes as you continue your spiritual search, about coming to balance in your home, balance in your life, okay, where you live, your consciousness, etc. New emotion, new cup, what are you going to fill it with? And the other side with the things that are up in the air. The abundance that's there. So in abundance, when you're looking deeper as the hermit, you're challenging these things, you're looking deeper, and you get to the message about the actions of the abundance of the universe, what's there, what can be given, what's actually be given, and that brings you into that gratitude state, the state of gratitude. You're feeling battle weary and things are up in the air, so that is why you begin the search. It's the mind and the emotion that you have to come to. Again, the mental state, what's ruling your mental state, and what you're open to emotionally, that cup. And the hermit, facing the losses that you've had in your life, from your family life, your home life, all of that, and coming to a balance. So it's about doing the search. It's about doing the search. What you find out, you couldn't be really outside of God, because God is life. If you're breathing, God is still there. Okay, So it's about finding that, finding the answers, and it's about challenging everything when it comes to the mentality and the emotionality of what's going on. Okay? And the other side, you have the life review. You have all of that. But while you're here, you can become the hermit, and that takes the alone time. You're not going to find the answers as to what is God, what is this life about, in the middle of a churchiology type of thing. You're not going to get it from hearing somebody else talk. You have to do the internal journey. And that's the hermit. That's, again, spending that alone time and looking deeper, challenging the things of mind, and seeing, again, what changes you make in life. So on that note, I'll leave that here. You never know what you're going to get with the cards, but that's what we got this morning, talking about your life here, and then when you go to the other side, what are the sacrifices you've made? What are the changes you made? What have you done in life? What are you doing in life? What does that cup of emotionality hold? What are you putting in that cup? Okay, and what is the mindset? What's ruling the mindset? Where is it at? Okay, now we see the anti-Christian ones, anti-Christ Christians, that are all about hate and division. Hellfire, damnation, hell, just division and all of that. And if you are truly walking the path of Christ or Buddha, whichever, Hinduism, all of those, it's the same thing. If you're walking that path, you are into love, acceptance, okay, open to the fullness, the heart. So it's the radical difference. Now the Antichrist will call the light dark and the dark light. Okay? So that it's about, going forward and looking and spend that alone time to really research and go within and see what's actually there. Are you following truth or an illusion of truth? Something you believe to be true, but if an illusion of truth, let me explain it this way, is something you believe to be true, but it's not freeing, it's not elevating. And if it's not freeing and it's not elevating, if it doesn't take you out of fear, then it's an illusion, it's a lie, it's a spin, it's a shadow. So the path is about, what does Christ always say? Fear not. He was always saying, don't be in fear. Do not be in fear. That was a continual message that was being put out. Don't fear. Okay? Don't fear. Have faith, have trust, and go forward. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.